a skunk as a pet, and of course, like they go through a process of making it so it's not gonna fart everywhere, or whatever you call it.
But its glands.
Yeah, they do that, and then and he was like, it was like just a black and white cat. Like I guess they're like total like sweetheart pets or something. That's what he said. He was like, yeah, I never would have guessed, but yeah. So I mean, if you really want one, go for it.
Yep. And fun fact is, skunks are only native to North America, but they're legal to own in the UK, but it is illegal to remove the gland.
Go figure. What's your question, man?
Why would you want one? Okay.
Well, when Saber mentioned the room, I just remembered. I'm wondering if any of you saw Best Friends a couple weeks ago, the first part.
No, I haven't.
I have not either.
Yeah, it's like the new movie from Tommy Wiseau.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Greg Sestero actually wrote it based on an experience with Tommy like years ago.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. See if it's any good.
Yeah, the first part was just released in theaters a couple weeks ago, like 2 days, and the next part's going to be released at either end of May or beginning of June.
Interesting. All right, let's check that out. Will Tommy still find new work?
Oh, thank goodness.
I like how he's at the awards ceremony with James Franco, and I forget which one it was. Was it the Oscars? I forget. Basically,
No, I think it was Golden Globes.
Or that was-
Globes.
yeah, like Tom was went on stage to like join James Franco, and like Tommy reaches for the mic, and James like, no, you're not talking.
Oh,
No, you're not.
I can't even do a Tommy Wiseau. Like,
We don't even know where he's from.
No one does.
Is he like a mystery?
He says he's from Louisiana.
He doesn't.
don't they even like
Yeah.
not have like a record of like him? Like like he just popped up as
Like,
Tommy Wiseau.
if you see the Disaster Artist, like Seth Rogen plays like one of the guys working for him. He's like, let's see if this cashes, and then like because he goes to cash in his check from Tommy, and then the bank teller is like, oh yeah, this account is like a bottomless pit.
It's so weird. So like Tommy Wiseau, because I've heard that before, where he's like rich from really certain where he got his money. It's weird.
There was some guy, I guess, that like did like a bank robbery back in the day, and like
Come on, get in the car, Mark.
disappeared and fell off the radar. Like I guess they were never able to find like his plane or something. Like they're like, well, he
just changed his appearance.
Yeah,
Or it's like the Count of Monte Cristo, where like Edmond Dantes, where like Tommy Wiseau finds like this buried like treasure in the ocean, or whatever. Oh my God, we're gonna be rich.
I'm gonna make a movie.
What's up?
Hello.
So, who is the best Alicorn?
Who's the best Alicorn? Flurry Heart.
Obviously me.
Flurry Heart is the best Alicorn.
Twilight.
Bad person. Starlight when it happens.
Why is it Mark
It's
Smith
gonna
himself
happen.
an Alicorn yet?
He has. It's just Sharpie
I'm
on.
pretty sure it's gonna be Starlight next. Just know it. Just know it.
Yeah. For a second I was gonna say Twilight gets jealous, and then I'm like, wait, she is an Alicorn.
The princess of manifestos. Thank you.
Who do you think's the best Alicorn?
I don't know.
Okay.
How much time left? We got
Okay,
like
so speaking of the Alicorns, I just saw this online. Who saw yesterday's episode?
We haven't seen it, so no spoilers.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, there was it was almost like they normally have like Alicorn mistakes in the background, but like this was a 4-ground pony and it had wings and a horn.
Interesting.
And so look for it in the new when you see the new episode. Yeah, there's a new Alicorn. Maybe that'll be your favorite.
We'll keep our eyes open for it.
Because it's a guy, it's a stallion.
Finally.
Oh, we have a stallion Alicorn?
A stallion Alicorn.
Did we? Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the spot, they're on the spot.
I got a quick question to the AV team or whoever. Since we started late, are we okay to go over a few minutes? You down with that? We'll clean up our mess. What's that? It's okay. How far over can we go?
When the mic's shut off.
How about we just go 10 minutes over?
Yeah. Is 10 okay? Cool. All right. Then we've made a quote.
What's up?
So I see you're wearing a Zootopia shirt. I think a few months ago there was this huge fan-made Zootopia comic that went viral.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking armies.
Yes, there was.
I want you to explain just what you all thought.
Okay, so that comic had actually been out for a while. I had seen it, and I was just like, huh, okay, this is weird. Because like I'm a huge proponent for Judy and Nick like ending up together. So I was like, I don't know, when I read it, because like I'll usually when I see like stuff like this, I'll look at it with Toodles, my fiance, and I'll be like, okay, I got a problem. And she's like, what's wrong now? What Zootopia are we looking at? And I'm like, you don't understand now. There's a problem in this comic. And I thought it was really like, I'm like, what the heck? My issue with it was how like out of character everything was. Like how weird. It was just so weird. For those that don't know, there was this comic that came out about Zootopia, and it was basically about like Judy finding out that she was like pregnant, and Nick's like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever. We didn't even know that we could, have kids. And then Judy's like, no, you don't understand. I don't want it. And then they just get this huge, like, dumb argument about like, what? How could you be so evil? And then like turns into like oh, all of your sins will get them. It was just so weird. And yeah, it was basically like an abortion comic thing. And what's weird is that the person who made it, like, they're like, wait, no, this isn't like what I stand for or whatever. Because everyone's like, oh, this guy stands for this. He's like, no, I was just trying to make a story. Okay. It's weird because the art is so good in it.
Yeah, it's like really good.
And then the story, you have some comic people who art is their like, oh, so good. But then it comes to the dialogue of stuff, and it's
kind of weird.
Yeah. So people took it and started making their own stories.
Yeah, there's a bunch of edits.
And one of the most well known edits was this one where Nick's like, I gotta go to Arby's. I'm thinking Arby's. It's just it's so dumb, but it's beautiful. It's pretty funny.
And Judy's like, I don't want Arby's.
The whole Zootopia fandom's like, seriously, this is what had to go viral, this one? Like, okay. It'd be like the Brody fandom having like a similar comic, and that's the one where everyone like outside of the fandom is like, oh, this is what they're making. It's like, no. God. Yeah. No, it was pretty funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm thinking Arby's.
Okay, so 2 mini questions.
Okay.
If you guys were all go to a shooting range, who do you think would be the better crack shot?
Gabe.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
But of the three of us, who would be the better?
I don't know.
You've shot guns more recently than I have. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. Have you ever shot a gun?
No.
Okay, so I the last time I shot a gun was at like Boy Scout camp.
Even I shot a gun before Philadelphia.
What kind of gun are we shooting?
Doesn't matter.
A water gun?
Bald cave.
I've got some super
Pistol?
suckers.
I guess pistol. Keep it simple.
A duck hunt gun.
You'd probably have some.
I mean, I've shot a gun before at like a range. I'm a decent shot.
You'd probably beat me.
Yeah.
We could find out in the hallway.
I'm sure that Gabe would be more than happy to take us to a shooting range and practice.
Gabe is an amazing shot.
But your target should be M.A. Larson's face.
No. Gabe is an amazing shot. He's taken me shooting before. He's Navy, or was Navy.
Okay. Other thing was like, if you each of you get a wish from the Dragon Balls, what would you wish for?
More.
Is that how Dragon Balls work? You get wishes?
Yeah.
Well, you only get. Are we talking about the Namekian ones or the Earth ones? The Namekian ones are 3 wishes, and the Earth ones are 1, right?
No, let's go
Yeah.
super. Let's go super.
Super. Which one's that then?
That's like
It's
basically
2 after
any wish.
So
Basically any wish doesn't matter. It's like you can wish for omnipotence or whatever.
And be only one wish.
Yeah, one wish or each of you.
Someone made an art piece where one of us was saying like, we're omnipotent. And I'm like, I had to look up what it meant, so I actually
Omnipotent. Yeah.
I feel like being omnipotent though, like I don't know, it's like too much responsibility.
I mean, like you can make. I mean, it doesn't have to be omnipotence. You can make any wish. Like what do you think you'd probably make?
Yeah, but at the same time, if I could be like, after making my wish, be like, dang it, why did I wish for a Chick-fil-A sandwich?
no, how did you regret that? There's no regret. No
That's funny
regrets.
because like anytime like in Adventure Time, Jake, anytime he has a chance for a wish, like he always gets a sandwich.
I mean, hey, at least he's happy. That's what I wish for.
I always, I don't know. Every wish you think about, nowadays, like, there's so many stories about, like, getting the wish you want, but it backfires. And now, so I'm always afraid
Well,
of
like a
making-
monkey paw.
Yeah. What? What?
Like a monkey paw. With a monkey paw wish, you wish for it, but there's consequences.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
It backfired where it's like,
Yeah.
I want to, I don't know, this person to fall in love with me, and then they like get like obsessed over you and it backfires or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like the first thing I think about is like, well, it'd be cool to be able to like retire
Yeah.
and just literally
Because
do
like the
whatever.
first thing that comes to mind for me is just money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see it. I think it's like I feel like if I want to help out humanity, but I don't trust myself to like do it right. So I guess I'd be like, I want teleportation to be discovered. Like that way.
Oh
humanity
yeah,
can start-
that'd be awesome.
That way humans can start going. through space.
Teleportation that works.
Yeah, it works. No monkey paw ones of that. Where it's like, I don't know, some abhorrent creature comes out of the end.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. I don't know. But I guess if I'm being selfish, yeah, money. Give me
What are you
loads of-
saying?
I want like Scrooge McDuck levels of cash and a gold tower.
And it's tax free.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
How about you? What'd you wish for? That's lame. Where's the excitement? We're going out of business.
I'm not sure. I think Barack Obama's wish he made that on Twitter sounded nice, like being able to like understand every single language, like maybe like communicate better.
Oh my god, talking to animals.
Yeah. The Liza
Liza
Thornberg wish.
Thornberg. For a second, I thought you were going to say your wish was Barack Obama. I was like, I mean,
I
okay.
guess that, I want to talk to dolphins. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't talk to them. It'd be like talking to like a child.
It's like I wish I could talk to animals, and they're like, granted, and you talk to them, and they're like, nothing changed. And they're like, well, you can talk to animals, they just don't understand what you're saying.
Monkey paw.
Well, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Made me think. All right, we got about 5 minutes left.
So, kind of related to that one, and since you mentioned Count Monte Cristo, if you had Monte Cristo levels of money, who would you get revenge on?
Oh, that's a good one. Did Count Monte Cristo? Do you all know about that?
Yeah, it's a great sandwich.
You stop that now.
Yeah, basically, it's a story about this guy who got screwed over when he was young, went to jail, and then he was able to find a load of money and get revenge on those who screwed him over. It's really good. Huh. See, I'm not much of a vengeful person.
Mark Zuckerberg.
You hold a magnet up to his face.
Like, let's see who Zuckerberg really is.
I'm from MySpace.
I would have gotten away with it too.
I'm trying to think. I'm very much so, again, like a move on kind of person.
Well,
But
yeah.
no one screwed me over that hard. I've been on this, like, I take 5th grade math teacher for like, so there was actually one person I could think of. So when I was in 5th grade, there was a substitute teacher one day who was the son of the principal. And this might be a shock to you all, but I was a stutterer as a kid. And I remember trying to answer a question, and the teacher was like, can you speak clearly? And I'm like, I'm a kid, why are you making fun of me like this? I got completely like humiliated in front of my class, and it really devastated me.
That's pretty terrible.
So I would take all that money and just ruin his life. And at the end, I'm gonna make sure he's hanging off a cliff, and he's like, help! I'll make sure like he's like, freezing cold or something like in like the Alps, and he's like shuddering while he's asking for help. I'm like, whoa, can you speak? Do you need help, buddy? And then I'll reveal myself and be like, it's 5th grade, you're substituted for.
And he'll recognize you somehow. Thanks.
Little boy.
There was this reminded me of a substitute teacher I had. Her name was Mrs. Young. She was the oldest thing I've ever seen walk through the school. And she was always yelling and angry. Like, everyone knew, like, oh, please let it not be Mrs. Young. Yep, she's a substitute, teacher.
Could have been that one or the one who wielded the TV with Magic School Bus.
And she talked like this, all right? Listen up, kids. Like without
And one day, I don't know where I got the gonads to ask her this, but I went up. I was like in 3rd grade or maybe 4th or 5th. I don't know. But I went up to her. It was recess time, and I walked up and I'm like, Mrs. Young. And she's like, what? I'm like, why are you always angry with us? She's like, I'm not angry. I'm like, but you're always yelling. And she's like, I'm not yelling. And then we had like really really weird like situations with this lady. Like at one point she told us that like I don't know how this came up, but she's like, we're like, man, it smells really bad in here, and she's like, well, I can't smell, and so